Hi, Assalamualaikum. Today we are going to present about application of logic in real life. So our group has Azrizal Azmi, it's me, Mr. Khairul Ish Danish Ahmad Robert, and Mr. Dani Afnan Danalis. Alright, for the introduction, if we want to learn the logical connective, we have to first learn about the proposition. After that, we can understand the logical connective. The meaning of logical connective is a word usually written as a symbol that carries a particular instruction of logic on how to operate statement or compound statement. This tutorial explains how to identify statements and introduce some of the basic ways that statements may be related to one another. Moreover, a set of statements or proposition which contains premises is called a conclusion, and the other statements are called premises. Alright, next for the statement. A statement or a proposition was declared a sentence that is either true or false, but not both. A statement is true if what it asserts is the case, and it is false if what is asserted is not the case. It is usually denoted by an uppercase letter or variable. The common ones are P, Q, R, and S. The variables that represent the statements are called propositional variables. Alright, as you can see in example 1, we look at P. Selangor is a state of England. It's a false because of it's not the true information. So for the Q, cat is a mammal animal. It's a true information. So for the R, 5 plus 2 equal to 10. It's a false because of 5 plus 2 equal to 10 is a statement, but it's not the true answer. So for the S, 3 is an odd number. It's a true because of it's a statement and it's a true information. Alright, next we look at example 2. Number 1, how are you? Not a statement because how are you is a question. Number 2, human have two gender is clearly a statement. And number 3, Ankara is the capital of Turkey. It is a statement. Alright, for this part I will explain the concept or the definition of logic connective. Basically, the meaning of a logic connective, like I said, is a word usually written as a symbol that carries a particular instruction of logic on how to operate statement or compound statement. So logical operator can also be used to join or combine two or more statements to form a new statement. I think that's it from my part. I hope the viewer can, especially to my lecturer, can understand what I explained, the definition by definition I was explaining just now. So I will pass this presentation.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Thank you to Jah. So my name is Daniel Afnan. My student ID is 20225324. So for the next thing is logic connectives. There are 5 logic connectives or logical connectives or connectors as you might call it. So there are 5 logical connectives for 5 different types of statement. So let's look at the first one. The first one is and. So the types of statement is conjunction, and this is the symbol. So for the next one, the second one, which is the types of statement is disjunction. So which is or, and this is the symbol. So for the third one, which is not, the type of statement is negation, and this is the symbol. There are 2 symbols that we might see in any question. And then for the fourth one, which is implication, that type of statement. So usually the statement goes like if this, then this. So this is the that is how you usually will see the statement goes. And this is the symbol which is an arrow. And the last one, which is the type of statement by conditional, and it is you might see the statement with if and only if, and this is the symbol which is an arrow with two direction. So let's go to the next thing. So the next thing is a further explanation on how the symbol is used. So for the and symbol, for the conjunction symbol, this is how it will be used. P and Q, that's how you say it. So its meaning is P and Q is true if the statements P and Q are both true. Otherwise, the statement P and Q is false if one of it is false. Okay. So for the next one, for the disjunction, P or Q is also true if both P and Q or either P or Q is true. Therefore, it is only false if both P and Q are false. Okay. So for the next one, the negation. Negation is the value of a negated statement, which is the exact opposite of the truth value of the original statement. So if you got P, then you will add the symbol and you will see not P. That's how you see. So let's look onto the next symbol. So for the last two symbols, which is implication and by conditioning, the meaning for implication, the proposition if P then B, that is the proposition. It is false if P is true and Q is false. Otherwise, the other statements P implies Q is true. So for the by conditioning, P, okay. So by conditional logical connective, which is true when P and Q are same, either both are false or both are true. So if P and Q both are false, then we say that statement is true. Or if both P and Q are true, then it is also true. Okay. So let's go to the next one, which is the argument. So arguments. An argument is a set of two or more sentences or belief. Okay. One of the sentences or belief is the conclusion, and the rest of the sentences are the premises. If the implication of the statements is known as true, then the other premise is met. The conclusion will be also true. As the result, the implication is also known as the conditional statement. Let's look at the next thing, which is the concept. So now, let's look at the concept. The statement if, then can use to describe an implication or conditional statement. It is also can be used the symbol code to phrase the statement. Okay, there are two statements, usually P and Q. In this instance, the phrase if P then Q might also be written that we saw back in the logic connective, can be written as P implies Q using the arrow symbol. In this implication, the statements in this implication, the statements P is hypothesis and Q is conclusion. The concept are also shows to describe the logical argument. Okay, an argument is a set of two or more sentences or belief. One of the sentences is the conclusion and the rest are the premises, like I said before. Okay, so that's all from me, and let's move on to the next person, which is this, and remember, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, My name is Khairi Herbert, and my metric number is 2022-843 and 462. Thank you from my fellow members Arizal and Daniel for explaining the introduction, statement, and the logic connectives. So, let's try doing some question. So, we go to the case diagram. So, there is input, logic circuit, and output, and inside the output there is window, air conditioner, and fan. Right, the logic circuit will function as follows: coolness, input AB, and output. So for the off is 0, 0, close fan, air conditioner, and window. Fresh air, which is 0, 1, open fan, window, and close air conditioner. Cool, 1, 0, which is open air conditioner and close fans and window. Cooler, which is 1, 1, open fan, air conditioner, and close window. So we assume that 1 is open or true and 0 is closed or false. Alright, so we use the truth table, which is input A, B. For the A, we use false, false, and true, true. B is false, true, false, true. For fan, we label it as F, false, true, false, true. For air conditioner, we label it as C, false, false, and true, true. For the window, we label it as W, which is false, true, and false, false. So let's solve the following proposition and state the conclusion for each question. So let's go to A. A. Negation A and B in the bracket are in the bracket A and B is equivalent to F. Alright, so we use the truth table, which is so we label that A false, false, true, true, B false, true, and false, true. Alright, so we need to find the negation A first, which is true, true, false, false, and then we search for negation A and B, which is false, true, false, false. And then we search for A and B, which is false, 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 true. And then now we can solve the question, which is false, true, and false, true. And then we compare, and since all the truth values in column 6 is equal to column 7, therefore in bracket negation A and B, or in bracket A and B is equivalent to F. For the question B, which is negation A and B is equivalent to W. This is very simple. Like always, we find the truth table, which is for A, false, false, true, true, and B is false, true, false, true. Then we search for negation A, which is true, true, and false, false. Alright, then we search for the question. We solve the negation A and B, which is false, true, and false, false. And then we compare it to the W, which is basically the same. And then we make the conclusion. Since all truth values in column 4 is equal to column 5, therefore negation A and B is equivalent to W. Alright, so for the last question, which is C, A and negation B are in bracket A and B is equivalent to C. Like always, we search for the truth table, which is for A, false, false, true, true, and B, false, true, false, true. And then we search for negation B, which is true, false, and true, false. So now we're gonna search for the first bracket, which is A and negation B, which we got a value of false, false, and true, false. So for A and B in the other bracket, which is we got false, 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 and true. And then we solve the solution for the question, which is false, false, and true, true. Right, so by comparing it, we also get the same. So since all the true values in column 6 is equal to column 7, therefore the A and or negation B or A and B is equivalent to C. Alright, so for the summary, in conclusion, it is essential to use logic in everyday life. Therefore, when we are faced with a routine daily situation or a very difficult problem or issue to resolve, logic is important to be remembered and applied for the best desired result. Understanding logic can be helpful to us. Logic enables us to think critically about reality and act reasonably in our daily activities. Logic is a tool that is used to explain the wonders of everyday life. The table suggests that to get cool air, switch needs to be on and switch be off, allowing the air conditioner to be open while the fan and window remain closed. This is because when both switches are on, the air conditioner and the fans are open while the window remain closed, providing the room with more cooler air. Thank you, and that's all for us. Thank you very much.